Yes, there it is. We jumped right into the screen. No starting soon. We just jumped right in today. Wow. Okay. Well, we've been chatting a little bit. We started a little bit late. My wife was out running some very, very important errands. And thanks to that, we have coffee for the stream. So if it's your first time seeing this, go back and watch the other things. You can be very confused, or don't. I don't give a shit. We're about to jump into some Dark Heresy, and to warn the uber nerds who might be watching this, we homeschooled a lot of this. We really, really homebrewed most of this. Dark Heresy is a silly, broken book with rules that don't make sense and contradict each other. And I've been playing it for long enough. We have a pretty good system, and hopefully you don't read too hard at some of the freedoms we take with the lore. Okay. With that said, we are actually going to jump into... I'm going to turn the music down, first of all. It's just a little bit loud. There we go. And... I'm being asked in our Discord where we're going live with this one. Ha! Truth. Hang on. We're right about to jump into this one. So, why don't you guys tell me where it was you were last as I answer some questions for people.
CC was sitting in probably like a gunner's seat of this war machine.
Actually, a pretty good point. Last week we were in the present. We're now in the past. So, please, in the past you were in a gunner's seat.
Yeah, fashioning, just taking one of the PDF's helmets because we outrank them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
And doing her damnness to like break it and fashion it back into a little hat for Muffin.
Perfect. Okay.
That's what CC is doing.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So that's where you were, and then we have Nigel's character. That's where you were, and then we had stop it. Me. I heard the live feed into my ear. Anyway, Nigel, where was your character at?
So my character was driving the war machine while also plotting his revenge on Dua.
On Dua. All right. And Dua is doing what?
He's checking out this fancy done tank top thing that character's name again, Nigel. It's Butts.
That's Effie?
Butts.
It's Effie.
Effie. Is Butts the other one? Or is Butts even a thing?
I don't think Butts is a thing.
Okay.
I don't think Butts is a thing.
Buttons was a thing, but you can call them butts.
Oh, okay. That's
butts if you're nasty.
If you a freak.
Yeah, he's just checking out this giant shiny gun that he has a little bit of experience with. He should.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, you guys are trained in basic weapon nonsense. You guys are gonna be all right. Yeah. So we have that, great, and we have our other crew, because you guys were in a lift because you were sent down to help out floor 3 because they were having problems with their riots. They had a big old problem with their riots because a week ago the hive was behaving very, very strange, and it led to a very, very disastrous outcome. There was an unknown thudding that would shudder and shake the entire hive city. And it kind of kept getting bigger and louder on the fourth floor. And the captain down there had wanted a team to come help out. And that's the team we're going to hear from in just a second. And they went to help, and no sooner had they arrived than large ports had opened up in the walls of the hive, allowing for the newly thawed ocean to come rushing in on the sides. Because...
Yeah, we didn't exactly have much time to help, But we
No.
did save 78 people thanks
You
to
did.
Pilar's roll.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Guys,
did.
Just absolutely whatever the opposite of killed it was.
On our
Yeah.
our tiny
Saved it.
little hovercraft.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a hell of a thing. So you guys got that. That's fantastic. And you've started to, well, so the ocean I mentioned newly thawed. It's true. Most of the planet is locked in ice. And as you hit your spring summer months, as we would see them, there is a thaw that allows water to rush to the edges of the hive, where some very quickly growing kelp is farmed, harvested, and used for things like lubricant, which is fantastic, things like oil, and food. And you guys usually use it for food. It's not usually exported as food because who wants to eat kelp? I've been to Trader Joe's. I've had the kelp. Ugh. So the real thing is the lubricant. It's actually just a fantastic lubricant that you get this oil extracted from these kelp bulbs. And floor 4 was flooded AF. There was just a catastrophe. People were hundreds of millions of people died, and most of them weren't found actually. So it's just kind of like, how could they have lived? But there wasn't a head count given because we know that a lot of the resources in finding people were drawn to floor 3 to kind of quell the riots that were popping up from the people being displaced by refugees and refugees on the now very, very crowded floor 3. And I'm going to pop over to the monitor and we're going to see the maps I have here. And so what was our rescue team doing? You guys obviously crushed it.
Oh, our team?
Yeah.
I imagine, so I am a singer, so I imagine I calmed people. I'm a singer and a cleric, so yeah, I think that's probably what I did, was sort of do personal interfacing to make sure that everybody stayed calm, so that way we could like literally rock the boat and all die.
And so you're basically soothing the people. You're making sure that as you scramble their freezing ass bodies on board, the last thing they're thinking about is, their wives or their sisters or children being slowly drowned and forgotten in their homes that are now gone.
Yeah.
They're probably fine.
Oh yeah, probably. Okay, well, okay. So it's been a week since that moment. Now, I do want to say this. You were welcomed back as heroes. You went above and beyond. You were sent to basically go check out what was happening and help out in any way you could, and you went beyond. You were each awarded, and your salary went up by 20 throne gelt every pay session. So our recovery team, as they became, is now getting paid a little bit of extra because they've got that extra little jingle on the jacket. And you have been kind of put on desk duty to recover from the traumatic events, and also because you've been put on the publicity circuit. This is a very terrible event, period. It is. But the people who you live with and who you police up on floor 1, they're so wealthy that they really only care, if you were to really look within, they really only care about how this is going to set back profits for this season. This right now is the time when all the pores need to be assembling, getting their asses out to the skiffs and pulling kelp, packaging it and sending it out of here. frankly, this whole rioting business is not on the schedule. And there are a lot of people expecting to pick up shipments who are not super thrilled about the fact that that schedule is being put back because of riots. And so you three have been basically run around. You're getting all kinds of voxes shoved in your face. There's going to be sound bites of you talking about how terrible it was and about how you're just lucky to make out with enough hands that you should be able to complete the season on track. That's what's being pushed. You haven't really made that, but you've been briefed, you've been told that's what the message you want to deliver is, and you're kind of in your office waiting for interviews. You've been set up for this press track, and you just kind of posted up in your pretty much empty offices. That's where you're going to be starting right now, in your empty offices, because everybody else has been sent downward. Everybody's kind of mobilizing. In fact, you've heard recently that there was a large amount of the PDF that was assembled, and kind of it was being championed by different Arbites from the different floors to go down and quell some of the rioting on 3. And what I'd like you to do from your office, where you're sitting or standing or drinking coffee or whatever, I'd like the 3 of you to roll a perception check, please.
I got real dice this time.
Nice.
Fuck
21.
real dice. 66.
Ooh,
Oh, why is this
Not
sticky?
nice.
Maybe that's why it's bad.
I got a 99.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
21.
All right. A 21.
All right.
Hell yeah. Well, as it is, we see that it's Zuri. It's Zuri. It's Zuri.
Yep.
So Zuri is actually here. She's just sipping on some tea or some coffee. Which would it be for you? What does Zuri drink?
Ooh, Zuri would probably drink tea. She's a
Tea?
singer. She's gotta,
Gotta keep the
take care
gotta
of
keep
those vocal cords.
Absolutely. I get that. But you're kind of at the tea station. Again, this is a very beautiful office. There's glass, even stained glass. You have all the accoutrement, all of the imported honeys and lemon. Oh my God, like who even has lemon? You do. That's who. And frankly, your recent heroism has brought extra funds to your Arbites chapter. The purse strings kind of opened up because you got more people for the line, and that's important. So you guys are being seen to. In fact, somebody's coming through the door right now with a visitor's pass, and she seems to be dressed nicely, and there's somebody behind her with a recording device, several different augments in the fella's face, and he seems to have quite a bit of replacement done. This isn't terribly off center for people within the 40K world. A lot of people, as they age, you just swap out the parts if you have the cash, and it seems these two have. So you see them come in. They have visitors badges, and the woman who's dressed in a very, very, very highbrow manner asks, "Are you one of the Arbites who saved almost 100 souls from the flood?"
Oh, me? Yes, that was me. It was, well, not just me. It was me and some of my other compatriots, and they're somewhere around here. But yeah, that was us. And she awkwardly kind of puts her hands on her hips in a weird Peter Pan pose.
What was it like? Were you scared? What happened?
Well, it was one of those things where it was very confusing, and you just kind of react and you do the best that you can.
Wow. Incredible. Confused and doing the best you can. I understand that you weren't even
well-
sent there to help people. What was it like when you were pushed into a scenario beyond your control, confused as you were, just doing the best you could? This was the best you could?
Well, this was what we could do in the very limited amount of time that emergencies present to us, such as this.
And were you trained in search and rescue, survival priorities, how to triage a catastrophe like this?
That, to a certain degree, we are all trained for being able to do tasks. And that is what we did. And we found people and rescued them, and some searching, but there were other parties present doing the searching.
Okay. And would you say that you had any idea how many souls are lost at this point?
I am sure that there is an official number that somebody can tell you.
And that wouldn't be you, though.
Yeah. No, I don't count the people. That one's not me. That I don't do that part. But we as a collective here in the Arbites office do have that number, and I'm sure we can get it for you without too much trouble. In fact, how about we continue into the office, and maybe one of my companions happens to have that information handy.
Wow. Oh, well, and we would love to do that. We really do have to go. As a final note, though, is there anything that you would say to encourage the people who are right now recovering on floor 3 as they find their new homes?
Just that we are all part of the same hive, and we must continue to be a part of the same hive and do what's best for all of us. And we do all acknowledge that this was a great tragedy to befall specifically the residents of 4th floor. And for that, we all mourn and continue moving forward, living life as a hive.
Okay. And as a last note, do you have any words of perhaps thanking those who are currently queued up in orbit waiting for shipments? Do you have any words to kind of comfort or in any other way provide encouragement that things will arrive on time or without any issue?
I would say that patience is often a virtue, and we will work together as a hive to do the best we can.
Wow. That was something. Thank you so much. I think we got what we need here. Cut it. Let's move here. We got to put some graphics behind this. We need to get some really intense visuals. I'm thinking we get some tight shots on her eyes when she says confusion. I think we need to... thank you, by the way. You've been great. Would you mind rolling Fellowship?
Sure.
I think what we're going to do, we're probably going to loop back. I can see the whole thing.
84.
84. Oh, so good. So good. I think what we're going to do, as she puts her hand on the back of the guy who was just kind of standing there with his whizzing, kind of just buzzing recording device he has, and she's kind of got her hand on his back as they're walking out of the the Arbites precinct. Oh, this is going to be so great. This is going to be incredible. People can eat this up. And then they leave the building. I'm sure that's not going to come up. So
I
the
will say
I can't
my
tell
fellowship
if that was good or bad.
right. My fellowship score is a 40, although like 84 is pretty bad. But like,
The answer is bad.
yeah,
and you rolled a
the answer
99 to
is
see
real bad.
them.
That's true. That's true.
That's probably fine though. I
These
think.
are probably like
It's probably fine. I'm probably
You
gonna be
gave
just
a
fine.
lot of really good non-answers,
Mm-hmm.
thanks.
so
Thanks.
hopefully they can't do much with
I'm-
it.
I imagine that she was mostly sort of like blankly frozen in fear for the most part of that interview, and so that's why the answers were
Yeah,
real
they caught
choppy.
you off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did.
You didn't have your note cards and what everyone told you were supposed to say.
right.
It's true.
They were still at my desk.
Now, for our other two in the office here, you rolled perception and nothing was terribly off kilter. So what I'm going to have you do is continue your busy work while we check in over on the siege. So, just as a brief recap, we do have 4 floors here. The 4th floor is kind of LOL. The 3rd floor is currently Riot City, and floor 2 is kind of just like, please, nobody come here. Nobody's allowed. No, don't. Now, it's kind of being used as a staging area currently, where we did bump into quite a few folks who were kind of being militarized, put into assault vehicles. We had PDF, some other Arbites who were all gathering around, getting in, getting around. And this party, these 3 right here, not wanting to hang out in the riots anymore, kind of met up with them and redirected them up to floor 1, where these people who are on stims, who are psyched up, they've been told they're going to perform a siege for the good of the hive, and they're going to set order, and they're going to get things right. It's finally going to get stamped down right now. It's been a week of chaos. It's been slowly building to this head. And here they are. They're stimmed up. They're basically coked out of their minds. And they're just like, all right, we're going to hit this thing hard. All right. Okay. Our bodies here roll up, jump into the vehicles, and they're like, all right, men, let's go. And they take the lift up to floor 1. The gates open. And the vehicles roll out into the brilliant, sunlit gardens and trellises that we see in the glistening city as the sun finally makes its way out of the clouds for this warming season. And let's roll perception for the 3 of you.
Perception.
50.
50.
Does heightened senses help this? Doesn't
What's
matter.
your
I got a
sense?
15.
All right, that's good.
Heightened sense sight.
Sight. Well, then yes.
34.
Yes, it does. 34? Okay. So you can see that there are people taking sound bites, various reporters, and Arbites officials, including Captain Merrick, who's right over there, just kind of standing next to a lamppost. And he's got about 3 people with Vox shoved in his face. You're coming at him from the side, and you can all clearly see what to him is a slow motion. Just like a what the fuck as you
I got ban.
and yeah, he's not like thrilled, it's not like it's not what he wanted to see. And the vehicles are moving. You can see that even without your doing anything or saying so, most of the vehicles here are moving. Now, I need to ask, Effie is sitting in, is this kind of like what kind of a position on the assault vehicle is Effie in? Are you actually driving the craft?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
Do you
sure.
continue your march on floor 1? What's the deal?
How many news reporters are there?
Well, let's roll. Why don't you go ahead and give me another check?
27.
27 is how many there are.
Damn.
Does the captain look like he's bothered by the reporters?
Absolutely.
We're gonna roll over the reporters.
You're going to roll over the reporters.
Yeah, I think he's under attack, right?
You tell me, man. You got to you got to tell me. You think he's under attack? You're going. I just want to make sure I'm understanding. You're going to drive the assault vehicle over the reporters. I just want to make sure I'm being clear because when I roll this, things are going to happen.
What would Effie do, Nigel? What would Effie do?
Nigel wants to do it. I'm not sure Effie does. He's probably going to get on his little communication device. Lieutenant, are these people enemies?
Are these people enemies? The reporters here on floor 1 where you have brought my assault craft that I specifically sent to floor 3? Are you asking me if these are enemies?
Affirmative, sir.
Negative! Negative, our bodies, Effie! Get back on the lift, get down to floor 3, and destroy those rioters!
Perhaps just one of them, please, sir.
On the lift!
Maybe
Can I
we should
drive over one
listen.
reporter as a treat?
Yeah, roll for me.
I think he's gonna reply, or comply.
Oh, okay. So you have. We're gonna roll for just some kind of like a. Okay. So there are some very, very confused, just borderline cracked out PDF in full regalia. It's like just stemmed out of their minds, like leveling rifles at one reporter, at the captain, at one reporter, at the captain, at you, at the captain, at the bush. There's a rose over there. Then they go back on the lift.
Can
CC
I-
just like sidles up to a coked out PDF agent and is like, "Hey, what are you on right now?"
It's basic. Basic stim. It's a basic stim. It's a basic stim.
She just holds out a perfectly manicured hand and is like, "Give me some."
Oh yeah! And he grabs your hand and then just jabs right into your palm. Go ahead and roll a toughness check to see how well it affects you.
My toughness is so high. Hold on.
I got CC.
27.
It's gonna be
27.
So much.
All right. So you can think cohesive thoughts, but you're going to have, I would say, at least a 2 added to each of your. Well, no, it's probably going to be a 5. So you're going to have a 5 added to your strength checks. So
Jesus Christ.
it's going to be, there's going to be that. You're also going to be able to see much better, hear much better for a very short period of time, but your willpower will be lower, your fellowship will be lower, and when you crash, it's all going to be lower.
I'm a tech priest. I don't need fellowship.
Yeah, whatever. So, yeah. So you Gucci right now. And did I hear that you did want to roll over a reporter? What's going on?
No, as I'm retreating, I'd like to maneuver in such a way that Dua gets all the reporters' attention.
Oh, okay. So go ahead and tell me how you do that. What's going on?
I just do it.
Oh, okay. So there are like high beams on your vehicle. Maybe you turn those on Dua, and
Oh yeah.
and you perhaps blare the horn of some sort. There's a Vox on board, of course. You could be like, this man can field all questions. Whenever you've
Perhaps
Whatever
there's
you've
a
got.
button. Perhaps there's a button that raises his seat up.
Oh, well, you know what? I don't think there would be one installed basically, but you might find one somewhere. Give me a roll for that. It's going to be a perception and a tech. It's kind of weird.
43.
43, what's higher, your perception or your tech?
Give me a second.
All right.
My perception is 36. I don't know what tech is.
Okay, that would be your intelligence.
Intelligence.
Yeah, because it's intelligence
31
your tech
intelligence.
stats. 31 intelligence? Okay, and do you have any special gearing toward tech use? It would be something you did specifically, so you might not. It's okay. So,
Probably not. No.
unfortunately, then I don't think you see one. And do
I
it.
just
What
want
do
to
you
say
have to?
that our biddies get a check in tech use, not like a +10 or anything, but they get the basic.
Right, so it doesn't suffer when you use tech.
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's
No
no
penalty.
penalty.
And you can upgrade into that to give you a bonus, a +5, and then you can do it again for a +10. Kind of cool. So, when we move over to do it, what are you up to?
Well, noticing that there's so many reporters out there, I try to hail their attention as Effie gives me the floor, if you will. And I try to beckon their attention. Hey, reporters, I've got something for you. If you would like to see it, instead of bothering the captain over there, y'all want to see it?
Yeah,
Y'all
they
wanna
rolled a
hear it?
5. Oh my goodness, look at this. To provide, get the cameras over here. Right over here. The Voxes. Bring every Vox available. Right over here. Look at this. The captain has
right.
arranged a show of force for us to demonstrate for those in queue what might we're bringing to deal with the rioters. Thank you, Captain. Thank you for this. Thank you.
Look here now.
Captain
we're
looks
gonna
more and
bring
more
the peace.
furious every moment. But go ahead, please.
We're here to bring the peace. Don't bother the captain no longer. I've got a song just for the occasion. Would you all like to hear a song just for this occasion?
My goodness, of course.
Yippee-yi-yay, yippee-yi-yo, ghost riders in the sky. An old cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day.
Cut the Vox. Captain, thank you very much for the show of force.
I wasn't done.
Oh, but we are. So wrap it up. We're going to be moving out. Captain, thank you for this display. We really appreciate it. You said that you just wanted us to get out of here. We understand that you were probably just trying to set this up for us. Thank you for your time, and thank you, brave men, for your sacrifices. Good luck. And the reporters take off.
Verse. Oh.
And they start to disperse. And the captain's pretty pissed. And kind of just alarmed by what's happening here. And he just
Who's he pissed at?
Y'all. I would say everybody in front of him, mostly. It definitely helped, not the singing, but the fact that this appeared to be a show of force, at least that's what it was perceived as. That definitely helped. So, are you going to continue singing here for the men?
No. Once it gets cut off, he just saves it.
Oh, okay.
Keeps it to himself.
Put it in the back
Is
pocket.
he sulking?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
He's a little sad now. He kind of gets a little misty-eyed, actually.
Well, I'll tell you what, give me a
pleased as
perception
pudding.
check. Another one.
Do it.
Uh-huh.
No.
72.
Okay. What about a tech check? Give me a tech check.
30.
30. Okay. I was looking for something magnificent to see if you could just find one of the tech priests in the area who had a Vox system that you could start recording into without, consent or whatever, but nothing jumps out at you. So
It's all right. I had my limelight.
No tech
I'll
priest
take it to the
is
grave.
well, I'm sure an
This day
opportunity
will be
will
remembered.
arise.
Ghost Riders in the sky.
Ghost Riders.
So,
Go ahead.
we came to file a report.
You're addressing the
Are we gonna
captain?
do that? Yeah, CC, high as all hell, addresses the captain. And it's like, yeah, so we came to file a report about floor 3. Also, your skin looks amazing.
Give me a fellowship check.
I can see through time. Oh, that's so good! It's a 4!
Really? 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 Because honestly, with all the stress, I thought my skin would be busting out. I was actually worried about it with all the stress and these reporters hanging around. But if you mean it, get back on the lift! And he points at the lift and just kind of stands there. So rather than in detail dressing you down, and rather than being mad at you, specifically a tech priest who's now high as shit, he's probably just gonna have you head back onto the lift with everybody else and get down. And he's just gonna stand there impatiently tapping his feet. You can, of course, send your men down and go file a report or do other tech priest-like things, if that is your wish. It's up to you guys. What's the move? Do you send the men down and remain up? Do you stay up here? You can really.
There is no way I'm giving up control of this beast.
Okay, well, you have the most fun. I'm gonna go do the thing that I said I was gonna do, which is file a report. Excuse me, and she just like walks off the side of the tank.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, and so you're headed to, I imagine, the Arbites office.
Yeah, we're already there, right?
That's yeah, you're on 4-1. Yeah, you can just go. Yeah. Yeah, you guys are right here. Again, these are huge, but if you're looking at the map here, you're on the lift, and the Arbites office is pretty much right over here. It's just to the west.
Wait, is the dog going with you?
Of course the dog's fucking going with me. I'm not going to leave Muffin with you monsters.
Yeah. They're attached.
Okay, in the driver's seat, Effie's just like pouting now.
We aren't monsters. We're misunderstood creatures, all right?
Well, and what is your misunderstood creature going to do here, Dewey?
I think he's just ready to fire this dun cannon. He's listening to the higher ups. He's just going with the corpa. He's just here to do his job. That's
Understood.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
I think he's rolling with Effie.
Is there like a turret within this big thing? So it's like multiple different things. That's kind of what Doa's been hanging on and giving his speech from, or whatever, his song.
Yeah, and you guys have not yet rolled what exactly is there. It's kind of ambiguous assault craft, but it's going to be you'll have quite the myriad of different siege machines.
There a flamethrower?
No flamethrowers here. However, if you wanted to head to the armory, this is probably a pretty good opportunity to make requests.
I left Poof back at the headquarters.
Poof back at the headquarters? Is that what you said?
Poof, my flamer.
Okay. Your flamer. Okay.
Poof.
Sure. All right. Well, if you wanted to go get that, you're more than welcome.
That'd be nice. I didn't know it was going to be this crazy.
Yeah. Well, and you have people who are dispersing. They're kind of, again, coked out of their mind, like, and just like pointing their rifles at random bushes and just kind of, the longer we're here, they're kind of spreading off the elevator, the lift.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of happening. Nobody's been hurt yet, but that's what's up. So right now, I just want to make sure I understand. We have our tech priest, we have Dewey heading back to the Arbites office. Not a long walk. That's something that they're doing, and
quick
we
back
have
and forth.
Effie, who's what's that?
A quick back and forth on my end. At
Yeah.
least.
And then we have Effie, who's staying on the vehicle. Is that right?
Yeah. I'm slowly turning it around.
Okay.
It's so big.
And you're basically going all the way around, just trampling bushes and the like. Can I get a piloting check from you? Or piloting check from you?
72.
Okay, you're fucking up some bushes. There's a trellis that was attacked. absolutely barbarous turnaround. This is a K turn where you're just taking out some hedges.
I was thinking more like the Austin Powers back and forth with the golf cart.
So be it. Yeah, you're just in the hallway. Oh yeah. Okay, that's so much worse. Yeah, I love that. Okay, so
F1 having the time of his fucking life.
Yeah,
he's up there giggling.
Yeah, and you're getting there. It's gonna happen eventually. The captain is just furious, but due to his pacification, thanks to the fellowship check made by Roland, that's he's not gonna overreact in this case. We do have our. Go ahead.
Is there maybe one, sort of straggling news reporter that maybe, somehow ends up under the tires?
Go ahead and roll. I don't even know what to roll. I mean, this is a perception check. Give me a perception check.
98.
And you wanted to find a reporter?
Well, I had hoped.
You had hoped that you would find a reporter. Well, unfortunately, no reporters were seen. However, you do hear a wrenching as the engine starts to stall on the vehicle.
I have one of the planetary defense persons check it out.
Okay.
Go
ahead.
Check that out now.
All right. Okay, so you're doing that, and the report back a ghost white, sunken-eyed PDF pops his head back up from under the tracks. It's the Sarge. And he lifts up part of a shredded Arbites uniform. The Sarge.
Is he alive?
No.
Well, you should go under there and make sure.
Give me a fellowship.
Did you check?
64.
Okay. He got a 33, so he rolled better than you, and he's like, I ain't going under there.
Well, I go back and forth a little bit more, just to
really get that turn.
Just to really make sure.
So you'll be doing that. You'll be doing that, and I'm gonna go back to the office where we'll call them the rescue team. We're just kind of doing busy work when the doors open, and two from our Stooges team, although I guess that's the future, pardon me. They aren't really the Stooges. They were the riot team. Walk in, and you guys kind of meet. It's really kind of a lovely time for everybody who was on the rescue team, but our two folks who just showed up, they've already had kind of a day. But you're kind of meeting each other for the first time. Hired at the same time, brought into the force at the same time, but this is the first time you've gotten the chance to meet.
CC immediately goes over to Nyla. It's like, Dee, I'm high as hell.
Oh my god, Cece, you're always high as hell. What the fuck are they giving you at the Mechanicum?
I don't even know. There was like PDF agents, and they're terrible. They're so bad. They're so dumb. They drove tanks up here. Anyway, nobody motivated that at all. But yeah, they just injected me with some stuff. It was great. Anyway, we have to file a report because everybody on floor 3 is like rioting and dead. As far as
I know.
Oh my
god, really? But we saved so many of them.
Were you on 3 or were you on 4?
Oh, we're on 4. It like flooded. It was terrible. It was so bad. But we saved like 100 people. Even though like everyone else probably died. But
100's like
saved,
so
100
many.
people.
So many.
And then like everything was like really cold and flooded, but now since we like saved so many people, we have to like read these note cards and stuff. Like, oh, a terrible thing has happened. And then she just continues to like read the note card out that she's been given that she's supposed to be using.
I would like for Zuri to sort of wander back towards them, like from the tea room, kind of like starstruck in a way. Like, I just talked to some reporters, guys. I don't think I did real good.
Was it because of your hair? I
just talked to him too.
It's because your hair looked like that? Was it throwing you off?
But my hair always looks like this.
Oh no.
Uriel, we're not supposed to talk to the reporters unless someone
All right,
tells us
everybody
that we
roll
can.
perception.
My perception is now so high, I'm drugged.
39.
That's a 7.
40.
Hell yeah.
15.
A 40? 15? Okay. So, there is a shuddering, a bass felt in all of your empty, hollow organs, your stomach, everything just shudders at once.
Oh my god, my hollow organs.
There's a heavy, heavy thud.
Did we just?
Okay.
Did it
doesn't
feel like
sound
Did it seem kind of like what
It did.
the shuddering from before?
It did.
When a week ago. Okay.
Yep, you can see in all the liquids, everything is shaking. Any chandeliers in your office, and yes, your Arbites precinct has little mini chandeliers.
Sorry, just to clarify, Effie was the one driving, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yes.
Did Effie hit the fucking building?
Oh my god,
that
what
felt
if
like
it's
Effie.
flooding here? Oh no,
No,
no.
we can't.
And
We
Nyla,
can't.
And Nyla like goes under a table and she's like, "This is to help with earthquakes."
Cece just walks
What the
over
hell?
and places Muffin in your lap.
Oh my god, Muffin, I've missed you.
I'm not so sure we should be going down there if it's shuddering like that. I'm not the smartest man, but that doesn't sound too good.
I want to go look outside and
nose
see
again.
if I can see something.
All right. So, go ahead and you step outside. Give me a perception check.
I will also join her by the window.
56.
56. Well, what you see is not panic, but people are emerging from offices, from flats, from suites. You can see people on balconies in the distance, people who seem to otherwise be going about their business have stopped moving. People have started to coalesce and be like, just kind of talking. You can't really tell what's going on, but it's likely confusion regarding the shuddering that you recognize as the same one you felt about a week ago. But you hadn't felt it so high up before.
So just to clarify, this was the rescue team that felt the shuddering, right? I don't remember.
This is everybody. But you
Okay.
hadn't felt the shuddering because when the shuddering was happening the first time, you were in the past. I'm sorry, you were in the future.
Yeah,
You were in the
okay.
future, excuse me.
That was the part. I was like, I don't remember Cece feeling
That's right.
shuddering.
She did.
She did not.
Mhm.
Although she probably did.
Yeah, but
So, like,
Um,
what's happening?
I don't know. This is just like when the walls opened up on 4th floor.
Maybe floor 3 is flooding.
Oh my god,
mean-
that makes me feel so much better. I thought it was because I was high. So you all felt the shuddering.
Yeah, I felt it.
Yeah, we felt it.
Not a fan of that feeling.
Is there anything like, is there like a Vox situation with, any reports coming in from other Arbites in other places in the hive, like
Great
reporting on what
question.
happened?
there
Well, here's the
definitely will be.
problem.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Like, here's the sitch, if you will. When we were on floor 3 trying to help, we were trying to get in contact with the Arbites office, and nothing. Like, their voxes were real terrible, but I'm amazing and good at technology and so smart and so hot. And so we tried, but, like, I didn't get any response. I didn't get any, like, proof of life. There was nothing.
Dang.
For 4?
Do you think they're dead?
You talking about 3 when they did the flare?
Yeah, because Cece didn't see it.
Right.
Oh,
Wow.
man. It must be really bad on floor 3.
Effie's the only one who saw like any of that, I think. So
I don't know. So if it's flooding, we should probably try and fix it. But also, there's like nothing but riots down there, and a whole bunch of PDF agents are just like making a human daisy chain and like singing songs and lighting campfires and like hanging out with rioters, trying to like keep them from rioting.
Really?
yeah, but now I got
Doesn't sound like them.
Oh, it's terrible. The flesh is weak, and there's so many fleshies.
And you did get poof. You got poof.
I got poof. Mm-hmm. I'm not scared of no riot.
Certainly not. Okay, so y'all have congregated, and it's about this time that you hear a vox. Each of you, actually, including Effie. And I'd like to... Okay, never mind. He rolled terribly. Just kidding. So, this is actually the captain, Captain Merrick, which I believe I called Malik in the very beginning, but his name is actually Merrick. Excuse me for that.
Cool.
So
Glad my notes aren't stuffy.
No. You're actually correct.
Yeah.
I couldn't read my own damn handwriting. His name's actually Merrick. Doesn't matter. Point is, Merrick is piping in. You feel that?
I feel so many things. I cannot answer him.
Yes, sir. We do feel the tremors.
I'm sorry, Captain. The sergeant got under my wheels.
Is that where he's been? You tell him to get out here. I've been trying to get a hold of him to get some people in order for some reconnaissance.
Yeah, what kind of sergeant's just hanging out under whales?
That doesn't seem very logical.
He is unalive, sir.
Unalive? Is he dead?
Well, he just came out of nowhere and just ended it all. I don't know what to do.
Are you saying the sergeant killed himself? Go ahead and roll a fellowship.
39.
Well, you beat his 66. Tell me how it happened.
1 minute I was turning around, the next he was like, "Oh no, I can't take this anymore."
And
went
then
kaput.
I wonder if he knew something we don't. All the more important we get some reconnaissance. I have everyone who's worth a damn already doing something. I need you. How many of you left? 6? I need the 6 of you here immediately. We're going to postpone sending you to 3. I have something else in mind.
Did he just say he needs all 6 of us here immediately when 5 of us are already in the building? I'm confused.
He's back at the lift.
Okay.
He's standing in front of Nigel, very, very sourpussed.
What's
As
Nigel doing there?
The slowest turn in the world. It's Effie, of course. So, it's up to you what you do here.
Shall we go?
Guess we gotta save more people. Nyla crawls out from under the table with Muffin in her arms. Can I carry Muffin? I've missed her so much.
I know that you're experiencing a lot of crushing emotional weight and trauma, so you will get a pass because I love you and I love Muffin.
Thank you, Sissy. You're the best cousin. Anyway, we should probably go find the captain.
Cece painstakingly just scribbles out a report in on a cocktail napkin on her desk. Hey, went to 3, looked around, no response after trying to touch base with the Arbites office. It's all going to shit. And then she dates it and puts the timestamp, and it's Okay, smooches.
Good.
I like how
there's a record.
I hope
Does
she
she leave a
signs
lipstick
smooches
kiss?
on the.
Oh, she absolutely leaves a lipstick kiss. I'm glad you picked that up.
My God. Okay. So, you guys are walking back. It's not a long walk. It's probably like half a mile. So you guys are on your way back. And let me get a perception check from all 6 of you.
76.
And
I'm never being sober again.
81.
40.
What did you...
98.
98. Okay. And then
I got a 19, but I do still have heightened senses.
So
and I'm high as hell.
You alone, actually, you felt not the same rumbling, but you felt kind of a low hum through the ground. Just almost like a groaning. Not like a voice, but like the sound of metal. Just something very, very, very heavy with very, 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 very low resonance.
Is this a sort of like, are we talking like gears moving that haven't in a while sort of hum? Or are we talking like pressurized, something is being pressed on sort of situation?
Good question. The latter. Pressure.
Great. Amazing. Cece sort of like leans over to Zuri, be like, so, I don't know if you felt that, or if it's, again, me being, 1, beautiful, 2, high, but there's something getting all squished on all this metal. I'm nervous.
Squished in metal?
You know, like how you'll take a tin can and put it between your hands and then squish it? It sort of gives the vibe of right before it gets squished.
Oh. Wonder. Well,
Under pressure, pushing down on me, if you will. Pushing down.
Okay, so you guys meet up with the lift and with the captain. You're all here. Effie is still doing the most beautiful turn in the world. And then go ahead and finish your conversation.
It's taking so long. Why are you so bad at driving? Look at him. It's like watching paint dry. But
Is he
that's
doing
it.
it really?
Perhaps you could join the sergeant.
We're already... is that a threat? Are you trying to run me over with your tank? You're gonna have to turn it around first, dumbass.
I'd like to like spin mud at him or something.
Yeah, bring it on. Give me a piloting roll.
3.
Oh! Not only do you do it, you only manage to hit him. So somehow, through the grace of the Emperor, you spin out one tire purposefully, and Effie is able to coat Cece in a nice cake of mud.
Ooh. Okay.
From the planter boxes that you've obliterated. There was no mud there, it was street. Again, it's not like this is Earth. There are...
Maybe parts of the sergeant as well.
Ew.
I imagine probably. Ugh. I'll tell you what though, I'll give you a chance to roll some dodge. You got a 3, so you're gonna get hit. But Cece, give me a little bit of a dodge.
Does being high as hell affect this in any way? Is it an agility thing or just a sight thing?
It's an agility, so you'll be able to move.
Oh fuck! It's a 4. That's
You got
not
a
a
4?
3.
Wait. So you got a 4?
I got a 4.
My God, dude, these rolls are incredible. Yeah. So you did
I'm
get.
never
You
being
got.
sober again. Never
You-
give me drugs. I roll like a god.
You look like a black and white cookie right now. It's just one side chocolate, the other side vanilla. You're just caked right down the middle, one side gunk. You can choose which side.
I do think that my right side is my good one, so it's all on my left.
Okay, there we go. But it is a thicker layer to compensate. So the left side, more mud, but it's just a clean line. Yeah. Okay, so this crew is assembled, and the captain, without an in-between, is now kind of. There are some reporters who've come back to ask about the shuttering, and he's basically told them to fuck off. They're leaving. He's turning back around, and for you, like I said, everyone I have who's worth anything, with any kind of experience, has already been set to work. We do have our heroes of the Hive, and I'd like the three of you to take point on this. We need information. The Great Lifts are still capable of going to floor 4, although I don't know to what extent. I have arranged... He's looking at the mud and the gore just covering your left side. I've arranged...
My eyes are up here, Captain.
I've arranged with the Mechanicum 2 servo skulls, and I'm gonna take these 5, just pointing at some of the men who are currently accosting some bushes with their bayonets. And then these 5 here, they're going to join you. I want you pointing at Effie. And Effie is an... What is the... So you're an Arbide, and then what's your other role?
Guardsman.
Guardsman, okay. And then what's your other role for Gallus, for D-Bike's character?
It's just Arbide.
Just, flat Arbide, okay. And then for Pilar, what was your others?
So for Zuri, I am a cleric and an Arbide, and then for my my future character, she's an assassin and an Arbide.
Okay, but this is a cleric. Okay, and then
yes,
we have Nyla. What was your second class?
Malefixer, which is like a fancy scum.
Okay, and then we have. Okay, so what is Dewey? Dewey, yours was what?
Guardsman.
That's what I thought. Okay, so it's actually going to fall upon the cleric. So he points over here at Zuri. You will document your journal. Or you will document your journey in this. And he just hands you something he has on him. It's just a pad he pulls out. And it has the sign of the Arbites on the cover, and it's just basically an anagrammed journal. It's a leatherback journal, very nice looking. Doesn't look like it's been used yet.
Okay. I imagine that we possess pens in general.
Yeah.
Or something.
It's not.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And there are 2 servo skulls that have been kind of chilling ambiently. And he kind of summons them over to him. And he says, you take care of these. They're more valuable than you. And he kind of just gestures toward you, toward Cece. And
oh my god, I was like, Cece's making grabby hands with this fucking service calls.
They start to effectively Bluetooth to you. And so you're able to give them commands. And we want to kind of corral your 5 guardsmen who are coked out.
Cool. So Cece walks over to the guardsman. It's like, okay, we're gonna go down in the lift, and we're gonna go check. Weird. I don't know why the motivation suddenly strikes me, but we're gonna take a little gander and see what's going on. Also, give me your jacket. She points to whoever's like the biggest one.
They're just tweaking out. Just pointing in every direction. And
jacket.
And they just kind of start walking away. There's some heavy stuff. They rolled very, very poorly. It was a 79.
Jesus Christ.
Jesus. I guess I have to get the leash. All
right. So while you're wrangling, we have the rest of you here. And the captain is going to continue talking to one of you. Which one of you wants to step forward and have a conversation with him?
I'm not leaving my driver's seat at all.
At all. Okay. So, we have the... Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say I can.
Yeah.
I'm happy to if nobody else wants to.
All right. So,
I have
talk
a
better than
fellowship
I
of
do.
37, if that helps.
Mine is 40, so I don't know if that
Okay.
helps.
That's
Yeah.
better than mine.
What all these numbers mean?
Never you mind.
okay. So, it sounds like Zuri's going to come forward and speak with the captain. So, Captain Merrick, we might have to swap out some of those guardsmen. You, one of our heroes, again, I want you leading this. I don't know what this shuddering is. Frankly, I don't know what happened before. You were sent down, and I didn't get a full debrief from you with all the chaos. Is there anything you can tell us about, and this is about to finish, another shudder rings through every bit of glass up here on floor 1. You can just hear everything in its panes moving just a little. Dust falls from the trees, and a dead silence moves over the city. Is there anything you can tell me about that?
Wasn't me. I wasn't moving the car this time.
Well, before that vibration was from the walls opening up on 4th floor. So I wonder, I don't know if we've got any eyes on the walls and whether or not they're still open or they've been closed. But I do know that when we went down to 4th floor before, there was the captain down there. She was very nice, and she said that we were supposed to, or she wanted us to go and check things out because the locks between 4-3 and 4th floor had been closed. So that way, I guess maybe the hive knew that it was opening the doors, but I don't know how or why. But I guess that's something perhaps we can go and check on today. Is that what you want, Captain?
The shuddering preceded the walls opening on 4?
Yeah.
Were these related? Is there any way you can tell? Were you able to find anything out while you were there?
Well, I mean, we were there, and then the shuttering, and then the walls were open. So that it kind of, one thing right after the other. So I assume that they're connected, but I could be wrong. That's totally possible. But yeah, that's what happened before.
They're gonna ask the tech priest what was going on, but then they all died.
That's true. And then we were able to call. Remember, we were able to call you. It's because we got to the Mechanicum, but all of the tech priests were already dead because of the flood.
I don't like this. If the opening of the doors on 4 are what followed the shuttering, the water's not high enough to flood 3. I don't even think we have exterior doors on the walls of 3. We haven't been able to send many people down to 4. I'd like you to head down with the rest of your newbies, your guardsmen. Document everything. We are going to have to report this probably directly to the magistrate.
Okay. We can do that.
That's doable.
I don't know what's there. I know that there are supposedly sub-levels to the hive, but I don't think anybody goes down that far. This is something that... Take this. And he gives you his key. This here is one of the few skeleton keys for our hive. I know. Gimmicky. But if you use this in the elevator, it should allow you access regardless of lockouts. We've locked out floor 4. You need to go check it out. And
Okay.
get ready to be wet.
Should I go get some different boots on then? Is that do we have wet boots?
No.
Or I mean, oh, okay.
It's time to get in the elevator. And he's just all of a sudden overwhelmed with the weight of this stupidity and the fact that he's kind of like, why me? Why not be born at this time? Why can't I just be a rich asshole? And he kind of just starts pacing away, thinking about what's in front of him. The rest of the crew is, by this time, you've been able to successfully wrangle your guardsmen, and the 6 of you, Cece, are starting to come down.
Nice. Is this a toughness check, or is it just a thing that happened? Okay. Drugs don't fail me now. Okay, a 28.
28. Okay, it's not too harsh.
Drugs.
It's going to be a nice, mellow deceleration. Your pack of 5 guardsmen rolled a 7, so they're actually going to fare even better than you. So
They're used to it.
yeah, they're used to it. So they're gonna gently glide off of it, but they're a little more. Oh, did you say you wanted a jacket? Oh, and one of them starts taking his pants off.
Thanks. CC wipes all the mud off with the pants and hands them back.
Thank you. And then he starts trying to put his pants on his arms.
You're doing amazing, sweetie. Hold on to this leash. And like the kindergartner train with the piece of rope with the two caregivers in the middle, I just start walking them back to the elevator.
Yeah, so one has some very muddy pants just kind of on his arms, and he's kind of like fished his arms through, and he's like wearing them on his back. And he's like, oh, yeah, okay, thanks. And the rest are all dressed normally, and you're headed to the elevator.
Mm-hmm.
And there you are. You're there. You have the lift control to override the lockout for 4. You have a journal for documentation. You have 2 servo skulls and an accompaniment of 5 guards. And
do we still have the assault craft?
everybody's still there. They're all waiting for you to basically keep going down because they can't really go down till you say so or till you accompany them. They're kind of beholden to you at this point. They're going to listen to you.
So is the rest of them walking, or are they in my assault tank? Because I don't want to run them over.
Quite a few of them are on the ground.
Do you?
But unless you try to, it's not going to happen by mistake unless you roll like a 90-something.
I won't try to. Yeah, I won't try to.
All right.
Maybe.
Well, it's up to you. So
Can
go ahead.
can we fit on the lift with the tank? Or should
Absolutely. These are truly enormous. These are gargantuan. They are huge lifts. And there are actually 4 of them. And you're only taking up, I would say, between the vehicles and all the people who've been assembled for this, you're only really taking up 2 of them. And so you're on these, and you could take an entirely different lift if you wanted to, but it's really up to you. You have your people with you. You have the rest of the assault crew who are supposed to go to 3 with you, and you begin your descent. You go past 2, and you arrive at 3. There's a shudder, not like the disturbing one felt throughout the entire hive. Instead, the shudder of a heavy lift stopping at a predetermined location. It locks into place. You can feel the gliding of well-oiled and poorly oiled layers of the walls as they pull back, revealing a line of PDF torches and lights that have been shown out over the rioting crowds.
Hi, we're back. Here's your people. Bye.
All right.
Get off the lift.
Go ahead and everybody give me a perception check.
78.
5.
17.
9.
9.
58.
Drugs.
58?
58.
58, okay. So, Nigel, Effie, you are the most perceptive of the bunch, so why don't I break it down for you? Right here, you can see that the kind of, we'll say, push to extend the safe area around the lift was successful. The one that you guys kind of took off in the middle of. It was successful. You seem to have cleared about I would say, 40-yard area in every direction from the Great Lift. There seem to be barricades that are being put up successfully. There are bodies. It's not a lot, but it's probably about 20 bodies that you can see within the light. The rest, if there are, they're within the mob. And the people are clearly very angry. Most of them are kind of trying to squint out a lot of the very, very, very high illumination lights that have been set up to kind of disorient the people, but they're set up on the lift and they're shining out onto the crowd with extraordinary luminosity. Probably more light than Floor 3 has seen since its conception. The crowd is extending out in various degrees of preparedness and health. They're extending out to where you can't well see. There are buildings that, as you understand them, in somewhat disrepair, but their structures are not any worse for wear. They're setting up effectively one of the colossal street corners that you're familiar with in your hive. You can see that there are crude weapons throughout the crowd, and the Arbites who are there, presumably from 1, 2, and maybe from 3, although you really aren't sure if they've made it. They have kind of taken charge, and they are welcoming and pulling PDF forces off the lift, assigning them to positions, and moving them into a proper defensive coordination. What's the move?
Well,
Go ahead.
did you relay the orders? Because I was just sitting in my my assault vehicle, pretending to shoot people.
Oh, who?
Zuri.
Oh, no, but I can. And so I relay the orders to everybody that's there.
Oh, fine.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I guess I
so we're
follow
going-
them.
Yes. We're going down to the 4th floor, and we're going to keep going, to figure out what we're going to do.
So
about
it's not
that.
flooded anymore?
No, I think it is flooded. I think that's.
It's
I think we're supposed to go down
definitely
anyway.
still flooded, but we gotta go check it out or whatever. Maybe save some more people. I don't know.
Well,
I
so
wonder what
helpfully, one of the PDF agents I was speaking to on this floor earlier, when I said if they went to check, said they would set up a relay for us on this floor. So if you would like, we could have them do that as well before we go to 4.
Yeah, that sounds smart. So
Roll
we should do that.
protect.
Cece's got like the shittiest of shit-eating grins on her fucking face.
So did you tell us that it was going to be wet down there?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's gonna be
It's
wet.
flooded. That means it's super wet, like as wet as you could possibly get.
Well, F1's just gonna, sort of glare at the guy with the big ass anchor. Like, what are you trying to do, bud?
Think us, obvi. Keep up.
I'm pretty sure that's D-Beck.
Yeah.
With your anchor? Your great weapon anchor?
Yeah.
Look, I just got Hubert. I don't want to sink her.
Oh, it's Hubert now. Beautiful.
I don't even think that thing can run down there, so you should probably leave it up here with these PDF agents, And anyway, that anchor might come in handy if we have to dig up any tech priests, because they all sank. I don't know if
How do they not know how to
what.
swim? We're on a water world. Come on.
Well, I mean,
I'm
you did
fairly-
kind of leave the flesh
They're
behind.
heavy, Cece. You wouldn't know because you're not all metal yet. Ugh.
Well, if I were all metal, I would have like a boat ass to account for my giant already ass, or I would put like rudders
What are you
in.
doing?
Or I
Move,
would have, like,
move. There's a
Cuba is a
PDF.
great
Okay.
swimmer.
There's a PDF with a whole bunch of brass on them. What the hell are you doing? Go! You 5, what are you doing? Pointing at your
We're
your
talking
dummies.
about my fat ass.
One of them has
Keep up.
his pants on his arms. I'm sorry, Captain. I think I'm supposed to be with the tech priest. He's wearing his pants on his
they're
arms.
Ours. The ones on leashes are ours. We're keeping them, but you can have like this other stuff.
Also, who is that super nice and very helpful gentleman I was talking to earlier? We're here to set up a relay between 3 and 4, because we're gonna go check.
You're going to 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Floor 4.
Yeah.
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 How many times do you need to say it? Just for me. You need another? 4?
We'll
4.
We'll set up a relay for you. The guy's like clearly has some kind of hearing loss. We'll set up a relay for you, but I don't think we're gonna go. We're not going. We're staying here.
That's
Yeah.
okay. I support you. Follow your
That's
bliss.
all the riots or whatever these people are doing. God, it's a mess out there.
I don't think there's any riots on 4.
On 3.
Okay.
You're quelling the riots on 3. I didn't even know that's what you were doing, and I know that's what you're doing.
We're gonna be on floor 3.
Okay, we're leaving. Bye-bye. Set up the relay. Cece makes like a motion of like phone call to her hand and just waves and
Give me
presses the
a
button.
give me a tech use.
Tech use. Tech use. I'm
Girl,
a
I don't
fucking
think that
tech
guy
priest.
can hear
Let's
us.
go. My drugs, where are you? It's still a 24.
24. Okay, so this is going to be quite effective. So it's going to be just fine. I just needed to know if you were going to, in your haze, accidentally give very terrible advice on how to do that. There are
Yeah, and then you
members of
put
the
it in your
Mechanicum
mouth.
here. There are members of the Mechanicum here doing this and that, adjusting the elevator, making sure there was no structural damage to the lifts, and they're with covetous eyes staring at your servo skulls because they could probably use a little bit of help. They have basic welding tools. And so
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. These are our bitey issue. I'm so sorry. I don't say that out loud. But I'm
right,
thinking.
but it's what you're thinking. Okay. So you are there. Now I do have a question for Effie. Do you relinquish the control of your vehicle? Do you maintain it? What's the deal?
Cuba's coming with me.
It's gonna sink.
Oh, it's gonna sink, and you're gonna be in it, and you're gonna drown, and we're gonna
Just, like,
watch
write
the
your
life
name
fade from
on
your
it and
eyes
leave it
and your
up here.
bloated corpse blow.
All right,
And it's
everybody
gonna
roll
laugh.
perception, please.
Oh, that's a
17.
5. That's a 5.
5, 17.
45.
And what was that?
34.
27?
Okay, 35, 27. All right. So, what we do is we actually have your whole party who is privy to this pressurized whining feeling. This much lower though, you actually feel the whining almost like when you have like harmonic resonance, and it's like when two notes hit each other and it just pierces everything. Very
Come on,
similar to
Cece's
that.
right there, man.
Cece's right there.
Yeah.
Well, what you feel
Just kidding.
is all the actual rioting crowd just kind of harshes. It's a rumble that's just so low that it doesn't really feel like the shaking, shuddering that you've seen previously. This is some kind of terrible metal on metal feeling. And it stops. The crowd actually is silent for a moment. The PDF, the crowd, everything looking back at the lift, almost waiting for something to happen. Seconds go by. More. And then almost leaping, trying to outpace each other, all the volume goes back up to a roar. And everyone's back to their mobbing. In fact, the mob seems a little more charged than normal, and the PDF seem a little more panicked than normal. You're on the lift. You have your assault craft. You have your servo skulls. You have your 5 cadets. You have the 6 of you. You're on the lift. What's the move?
This is gonna suck, right? Just to be clear.
Yeah.
I start passing around my flask to everyone.
What's in that? What are you trying to? What is this?
No, thank you.
There's
I'm
some
driving.
whiskey.
Easy drinks.
Fuck yeah.
Mm-hmm. Pass it over.
Suri definitely takes some.
Mm-hmm.
Has a swig.
So after the relay is set up, I guess we just go down, right?
Yep.
You do?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go down. You take
I use the skeleton key.
And even though there is a lockout, the floor 4 region, basically the giant, anybody can use this lift buttons. It has a red glow around 4, and inserting the key, turning it, it turns green again, and you're allowed
Muffin
to
wants to
descend.
push the button.
Go ahead.
I hold up Muffin to push the button. That is all.
Okay. So Muffin pushes the button, and you feel a shuddering, and the well-oiled and poorly oiled layers of the lattice work close in front of you, and as you descend, you feel, accustomed to going up and down in the lift, an unusual sensation. First, it feels like a slowing, almost as if you've encountered trouble as you hit presumably debris, whatever might be in the way. You can hear a little bit of groaning, but it's not much. These lifts are very, very strong. And they begin to descend through whatever nonsense there is, and then a silence that you aren't really accustomed to kind of permeates the walls, almost as if the dull roar that you don't even pick up on because you're in a hive city, it's a giant room effectively with millions of people, is gone. It's like when you're finally away from the freeway for the first time in your life. But this is what you're experiencing here. And the green outline around floor 4 flickers and goes red. You aren't at the docking point for the lift yet, but it goes red all the same. Red emergency lights turn on in the lift. And can I get a perception roll from everybody, please?
A 1.
81.
That balances out my 92.
Yeah, I got
77.
19.
85.
19. Okay. So, Gallus, you can see through a crack in the light, because again, very, very poorly lit down here. You can actually see sunlight beyond the walls, the distant walls of the hive city where you have been told and where you saw them open up before. And as you're able to kind of peer out into that, you, before anyone else, notice a shuddering. That horrible, horrible shuddering that you felt previously. You feel it again. Feel it very, very, very strongly. And you will be immune to the painful metal on metal sounds that begin to happen. You can see, with your perfect vision apparently, that the openings that you had seen are beginning to close. They're beginning to raise. The doors that had opened are now closing. They're sealing away the outside, the water, and the shuddering, the thudding, the huge bone-shaking noise is consistent with the closing gap that you see in those exterior ports.
Sorry to clarify, it has been how long since the rescue team went down? A week? So it's taken a week for these doors to close?
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay.
So, these... And from your understanding, nobody's closing them. This is something nobody opened them. Why would anyone want them open? So, they're closing now. And the lift is stuck. You can see, well, D-Beck can see, the lift has probably met the water line at floor 4. But the lift doors are still shut, for the most part.
This is too high. But why did we stop?
Probably because it just got tired. It's been a long time.
Yes.
I'm like a week.
I wonder where the water is. Can I see water outside of the lift area?
You can. And what'd you roll again?
An 85.
Okay, so you can't really see very much, especially with the now dimming light within floor 4.
I'm a small lady. That makes sense.
All right. And what else do we have going on here? You're kind of just stuck.
So, do we like this open?
I try the key, the skeleton key, to see if I can at least like get the lift doors to open up in some way, or
Sure.
access some kind of panel.
So you turn it. Go ahead and give me a tech use.
Okay. That is where did I put it? That is a 57.
A 57. Well, the elevator rolled a 90 against you, so you won. And
Great.
you are able to do a couple of things. You can either force the issue and basically command the elevator lower, or you can use the lift to basically seal up. Because right now you have like kind of like a lattice work. There are more doors you can close. You can basically shut this thing up. You can go up, you can go down, and you can open the doors. Those are the ways of moving forward.
Well, should we open the doors and try and send the servo skulls to take a look around? Can they do that? Is that something servo skulls do?
Yeah.
They just check things out? Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to force the doors to open then.
Okay, they do. And we're going to actually use D-Beck's incredible 1 that he got earlier. And D-Beck, you're welcome to relay any or all of this to the crew if you like, but you're the only one who truly sees this. You can see with your immaculate vision that as the water is no longer pouring in from the outside, the water level is going down. There is a consistent drop in water level. It's going down. And it appears as though you may have bumped against the water initially, sending the elevator, the lift, into a freeze. And you now have probably 20 yards of clearance between the bottom of the lift and where the water level is currently.
I do choose to relay that.
Okay.
And I also tell it kind of slow for the ones who...
For Dua?
Yeah.
Oh. Y'all talking to me?
Weird.
No.
I write all of this down in the journal.
All right.
Where's the
Well,
water going?
we fixed it.
I mean,
The water's going down. Let's go back.
Job well done.
No, we gotta go look. There might be people to save or whatever, and they need that for publicity and shit. And also, maybe the rioters will stop rioting. We find like their dads.
Also, we could probably see some like really cool drains and really cool pipes and really cool gears and really cool stuff.
Okay.
All right.
But I want to run over some people.
Did you want to send the servo skulls down?
Yeah, I'm gonna send the servo skulls out.
Okay. Go ahead and give me a tech use on those.
Sorry, Polar. I just liked your. Okay.
Go ahead and give me a tech use on the servo skulls.
Tech use is an 8.
An 8. Okay.
8.
An 8. That is damn good. So, what we're going to do is we're going to allow for these servo scrolls to kind of go out. How long do you want to send them out for?
What I want to map is some degree of like time it takes the water to go out, and because if it's going down at a steady rate, I would like to know what that steady rate is. And do we have a general idea of how long it's going to take for us to hit like the floor, the actual deck docking point for floor 4? CC wants that info of how long it's going to take to wait in this elevator, and also try and see if there's any like big points that the water is coming out of, if it's like an intentional drain or a structural abnormality. Those are the 2 things at the top of my list.
Okay. Well, you are able to tell from the servo skulls doing reconnaissance that the Great Lift, the nesting, the docking area for floor 4's lift platform has actually retracted, and there are 4 very, very, very large cavernous shafts that are now clear before, but nobody's really seen because the housing for floor 4 for their lift controls would nestle in or close when the lift is up. But with the doors open for the lifts and no lift present, you can see that there is nothing in the shaft for the Great Lift. This appears to be where the water is rushing to, and it looks as though it's going to take about 5 minutes for your lift to get down to the bottom. If you were to just go down right now, you will find that the water will drain out in probably about, fully drain out in about 4 days. If it's consistent with this time.
Okay.
I mean, that sounds like something to report.
Okay.
And that is because there is no like lift or lift mechanisms clogging that hole. So if for some reason we ended up there in that spot, all the water would, if we beat the water down to that point, the water would not be able to drain anymore. Am I understanding that correctly?
There are 4 shafts. You have 4 Great Lift shafts. You are currently in one of them, and you are basically able to go up and down. It encountered water previously, so it locked up, but you can be like, I said down, and it'll do what you tell it to do. But
that's drowning us.
Well, I mean, you know, a little drowning between friends. I mean, you're all together. That's what's important, right? And yeah. And so here you are in your Great Lift. You're basically seeing what we've described, and
okay,
that's the move.
Just cursory glance, just water, no miscellaneous random person floating on a hunk of wood or boat that is alive and flailing.
Well, you're gonna have to give me a pretty good. Yeah, let's go. You know what? Why don't we do everybody? Let's get another perception check.
Got
it. Not that one.
15.
15.
70.
14.
93.
Ooh, you didn't see shit. All right, so do it. What you can see is that there are people on rooftops. Now, again, most of floor 4 was flooded, but it's a huge city with enormous buildings. And there are people who've made effectively campfires on distant rooftops. The search and rescue was called off to quell the rioting on 3. And so there are people who are perfectly fine who have just been able to make it to high points. There are very, very crude rafts that are now being sucked toward what you really can't see yourself, but the servo skulls could. The vortex that's being created by the open shaft beneath you. And with your 15, you can see that it's an absolute horror fest for them. This is something that was only really, this is only really new for you, but these people presumably have been aware of the whirlpool in the center of the hive for the last week.
Oh, shit.
Well, there's some people out yonder on the rooftops. Are we meant to be saving them right now? Is that really our job right now?
CC relays the info of of giant whirlpool, gonna take 4 days for it to be dry, yada yada. But yeah, the info about alive people is new to her.
We really meant to be saving them right now, or we just want to trail back and relay this updated information?
It's a bunch of water. We're at the epicenter of the whirlpool, so if we tried to leave, we would just go straight into a whirlpool.
Yeah, you got a good point, but I don't want to be conflicting orders of what we're told to do.
That's true.
We can
I
find
don't
a
think
way,
our
we try to
orders
find
were
a way,
to jump
but I don't
into
know.
a whirlpool.
I'll
Are
throw
these
you in the
people within
whirlpool.
range?
They are all over the place. So this is an enormous structure, and you can just barely see the flicker of probably 40, 50 different rooftop bonfires just from your perspective.
So we couldn't communicate with them?
Well, I'll tell you what. I rolled a 1 for their ability to communicate with you. And so there's a very, very large building. If we're looking at the map here, we're looking at floor 4. You guys were right up here in the northwestern corner. It's actually out toward where the Arbites office used to be. And it looks like it might even have been the Arbites headquarters for floor 4. There's a roof there, and they're using smoke signals. You can't tell what, but you can see that they are trying to communicate because they can see the lift moving somehow.
Hey, just for me.
Yeah.
What color's the smoke?
Well, that was 3. 3 was the other one. This is just smoke. This is just they're like, hello, just trying to do, short, long smoke, short, long smoke.
Would the servo skulls distance-wise be able to make it over there or no?
Yes.
Okay. Can they record audio on the servo skulls?
Yes.
Cool. Cece's gonna give one a message and be like, "Hi, I'm Cece. We normally work on floor 1. You're on floor 4. So if this is anybody else listening to this message, I'm not talking to you. We're here to save you. Problem 1. There's a lot of water. You probably already know that. And honestly, I'm so glad we're on the same page. Problem 2. That water is gonna be here for I don't know, guessing, just for me, 4 days. So we're gonna turn around and we're gonna get some resources and we're gonna tell everybody you're still alive. Hooray! So we'll be back. Smooches. Smooches coming from a servo skull. And send it out.
Okay. Well, and you do. That's fantastic. And you have I would say you can wait. You can just kind of leave that servo skull to do its thing. What's the move here, gang?
Servo skulls
Can
are
we
expensive. I'm not leaving
communicate
it.
with our captain?
Yeah,
Okay, I'm gonna call the captain.
very well.
Captain, come in.
Please?
Captain? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, I hear you. No. Tell them to wait. We don't have any room for more ships. What?
we found a lot of survivors. A lot of people have crawled up to the tops of the buildings, and there's a lot of people who are still alive down here. We can't get to them right now because the water is draining out. It's going down into the lift shafts.
Lift shafts? Beneath the lift?
Yeah, we can see down it. I mean, I know we couldn't see down it before, but like we can see into it now.
Oh, throne.
No, I told them to wait.
Gallus.
You form an orderly queue or you go back where you came from.
What?
Gallus saw way down in there. Like we can see down where the water is. The whatchamacallums, the big port things, they closed, and the water is sort of draining out, but it's gonna take a long time, according.
Is that what the shuttering is? The ports on the outside closed?
Yeah.
Why? What did you do?
We didn't
Nothing.
do anything. The lift actually stopped on its own.
Stopped on its own? I don't have time for this. Look, you said there were people there?
Yeah, we need rescue teams to come in and get these people. We can see, like, how many can we see? I'm gonna roll it. Rescue
teams? No, I don't know anybody for rescue teams. You tell them to hold tight.
Okay, well, CC already sent a servo skull to tell them that, but I wanted to make sure that you knew so we could organize some rescue teams, because then maybe people would stop rioting so hard.
How many people are there?
I rolled a 79. I can't count for shit.
Let's see if I can actually count people. Nope.
Can I use the
other
servo skull to do a perception check to try and count people?
That would take a long time. They're not very fast. Anybody else curious?
He's just like playing solitaire.
Oh, that's right. So basically, you just tell him a lot. So he's like, okay, well, so open up the outside ports again so we can send in the harvesting craft for the kelp. We can send them in or something.
Ah, fuck. They closed on their own, but we'll see if we can reopen them.
They closed on their own? I'm still not understanding this. So you went down there. I don't
understand it either.
Well, figure it out. I need those doors open if we're going to get anybody out of there. There's no way they can't get to the lift, right?
Not unless we had some boats, or I don't know if this guy's tank thing can float.
Tank? What?
Hubert. His name is Hubert.
Hubert.
Anyway, there's also a whirlpool, and it's because you know, like the water is going down into the lift shaft, so it's creating like a whirlpool and it's sucking everything down. I don't think we can get to them from here, so we'll have to try to open the parts.
The pipes.
Yeah.
Oh, the pumps. Yeah, the old pumps. Of course. Yeah, if you can figure out how to get those going, yeah, you might be able to get the people out of there.
All right.
Did you say Hubert?
Wow.
Yes. Hubert.
Who's
His name
Hubert?
is Tank that.
Tank.
Hubert is my
Oh, you brought
vehicle.
O2 tanks. Good idea. Yeah, if you need to dive, I don't care. I told them to wait. I'm ending the Vox. And he shuts it off. So he closed the Vox. He didn't understand about there actually being an assault craft. He misunderstood about there being O2 tanks. So, you have choices. You can...
I'm not diving into that sewage.
You could do that. I don't know about that. You could take the lift down. You can take the lift down to whatever the... Well, you can go up. You could kind of have just a few choices here.
Does Hubert float?
Nope.
Why don't you drive out and try?
Hubert does not float. Hubert is a whole bunch of shit. Go meet Nurgle.
Does he have any flotation devices on him?
On the assault craft, no.
Why not?
Because it's meant for land assault, and it's not really geared for that.
Could have stolen a boat assault vehicle.
Do the guardsmen float? Maybe we can use them as a raft.
Definitely. Definitely.
That's good for morale.
So I definitely relayed a message, so we could totally just wait till that gets back, because servo skulls are, and I cannot stress this enough, one, expensive, two, they're just little guys, so like we can't leave it out here. I love them.
Well,
And three,
yeah.
And three, I don't get the impression that the captain got all of the vital information that he needed from that message. So we should tell him in person. And it's going to take 4 days for the water to go out anyway, unless you want to jump in a whirlpool.
No, but we can make it go down now, like closer down to the floor, because it's draining out.
Okay.
Maybe we can plug up the whirlpool with Hubert.
Oh.
Yes, let's plug up the hole with Hubert.
Well,
I don't know. Is it enough?
you could try.
Well, if the
I don't
Hubert
know.
fits, if
I'm
Hubert
pretty
fits
sure
inside the elevator,
That would be
and
like
the holes are big enough to hold the elevator.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm pretty sure that would be like throwing a golf ball through like a basketball hoop kind of a thing. Like trying to plug a basketball hoop with like a golf ball might be kind of like that. That'd be difficult.
Maybe we can rig it to explode.
So many
Sure.
holes.
You could do that. No one's gonna stop you.
I don't know about
Make
that.
the hole bigger.
Make the hole
Oh, then the
bigger.
water drains faster.
Can I take my anchor and like slam it into the like whatever it is and make the hole bigger?
No, because the hole is if we need to put a size on it, we're probably looking at about 100 yards by 100 yards by 100 yards by 100 yards. So it's like a 100-yard square. It's pretty good size.
How much has it drained out?
How much is it drained out? It's consistently going down, but you have to remember this was the largest floor of a hive that was flooded to about the height of 3 stories.
Okay.
Is there anything we can use as like a raft or a boat, or like preferably one of those hovercrafts that we used before?
You can see some that are being used by some are being used upside down in the distance. There are some that are just wrecked. Various vehicles in all manner of state and repair are kind of crashed into buildings or up on top of buildings, and it's kind of a nightmare.
The pumps are where the tech priests all died. Dang.
I'll tell you what.
Oh yeah.
This is going to be really, really nasty. I want everybody to use a perception roll, please.
11.
98.
17.
What was yours,
39.
Lindoa?
17.
21.
Okay. Well, you got a 99, Pilar?
No, I got a 39. I got a
39. Okay,
I was
like,
the one that got a 98.
oh, you got a 98. Okay.
Yeah.
Man, that's like, you have gotten 2, was it 100s before?
Yeah.
Oh my God, and now a 98.
Oh,
So-
am I going to have stinky breath again?
No, thankfully, no. No. But there is a shuddering, another heavy shuddering. Not from the walls this time. This feels much deeper. And now that you have knowledge of the open shafts beneath you, it's important to know if we have the servo skulls out and around, we'll be able to see a little more of this. And I believe that is the case, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're out.
The lift that you're on is suffering structural damage. It is not buckling in its actual structure, but there are elements to the lift that are being damaged by the amount of weight of all the water that is interfering with the mechanisms that allow for proper up and down movement at the bottom of this shaft. and you can feel the groaning, almost like a tension in the various releases, clamps, and pulleys used. You can feel those tensing, and you can hear like straining spindles of wire groaning and snapping.
We should leave.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open Hubert's door just in case.
Okay. All right.
Of what?
I'm gonna stand a little bit closer to Hubert.
Okay. And y'all are just chilling right here?
Yep.
I think. Can we go up?
Feel free.
Should we get out? Is that a consensus?
Go for it.
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna use the skeleton key and take us up.
Okay, so you plug in the key and you hit the floor for 1, for 2, for
1.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's a 1. Sounds like a vote for 1. The servo skulls are returning, and you can hear the groaning getting louder. You hear more of the twing, 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 twing.
Are we gonna make it to 1?
As different cables begin to
I'm gonna press
lose
3.
their strength. More groaning. A snap is felt, and the lift begins to list to one side. The groaning begins much, much, much louder. Can I get a piloting check from you, please, Effie?
24.
24. You are able to, with lightning reflexes, engage the drive of the vehicle. You're able to lurch forward with exactly enough momentum to counter the absolute upending of your lift. You can feel the walls of your actual lift chamber as they grind and smash into the actual shaft. And you begin to lose altitude at the rate of the remaining spindles of wire that hold you.
Sorry.
Oh no.
Should we get out? The door's still open. We can jump out.
It's open, and that water's coming up pretty quickly. You're descending at a rate that you're able to walk around still. You're not being thrown up. There are clamps that are trying to engage.
CC just yells clamp harder to the clamps.
Are you going to try and interact with the console to see if you can make them clamp harder?
Yeah.
All
I
right.
didn't know we had an available console. Let's go.
Oh, there's always a console for a tech priest.
Yay. I love machinery. Light of the Omnissiah.
Give me a
this
tech roll.
friggin' roll.
While he's rolling that, are there any?
He sure did. That's a 2.
A 2. And then I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Are there any more like manual controls anywhere?
Yeah. Give me a perception
Like
check.
manual brakes. Okay. 85.
Is it 85?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. Why doesn't everybody give me a perception check just right here? You guys have seen these lifts forever, but it's only now you've really started to look for these because you never really cared. Everything worked just fine.
57.
17.
Also 57.
17?
53.
Yes, 17.
Okay. So I imagine Dewey is like, where are the goddamn manual controls? Something like that.
I got it. Shut up.
I'm tired of this automatic stuff. Where can I stop this thing? Come on. Where's the
D-Bag
brake?
sees him.
Where's this goddamn brake? Anybody see it?
Right below. To your right.
If he points
Points
at it,
him out, yeah. All right.
I'm grabbing him as
So,
fast as I can.
yeah, you can
Being
see
the
that
biggest
there's
guy here,
a,
for sure.
you know, only break glass to save your ass kind of a place, and you can see that there are some levers you can grab to engage and then pull out to hopefully get the grip on. And you're gonna go for that. Let me get a strength check from you, Dewey.
Okay. Strength of 40 with a 54 roll though.
Good. That's fine. You're doing good. This is not like a difficult roll. This is just like, are you gonna be like, I don't want to hurt it? Like, what's the? Talk to me.
No. If the lever is very obviously like a break and not like a release, if there's any sort of label on it,
yes,
he can read. He is literate.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, no, he's yanking it as basically as hard as he can.
All right. Giggity. And so you're gonna just really wrench on that thing, and at the same time, we have the tech priest roll. What's the move here, rolling?
Oh, I got a 2.
A 2. All right. So between the two of you, you're able to grind this thing to a halt. However, it's just below the waterline, and you guys are being swept here. This halt that you're at, it does seem as though there are some kind of backup engages that have actually started to stabilize the lift. You're now no longer at a list. You're being leveled out, even though water is pouring in over your feet and down through the grate.
Well, not my feet. I'm in the tank.
Correct. And here we do have manual controls because the switches that you've been using to go up and down the buttons, so to speak, they seem to be a little less than functional. You can see that everything's flickering red or off. It's not really functional. However, next to our manual releases that we had for the brakes, for the go, you can see that there are analog levers for up and down.
I'm gonna scooch us up a little bit so we don't get wet feet.
Okay, so you are doing that, but it's just not working right away. Go ahead and give me a. Everybody can even use a. This is going to be pretty much just a strength check. This thing is just jammed, and it has all the weight of all this water on it.
7.
Strength is a 40.
You said a 7?
Yeah.
Never fucking mind.
12.
12.
44.
I
Okay.
also got a 44. Twins again.
Twin.
I got a 45, but so is my strength.
Oh, okay. Well,
Nice.
this is going to be a pretty tough one. So we do have.
freaking jacked.
Yeah, we have Galus, and we have the we have Dua and Galus, because Dua was already on it, already doing all the hefting, and Galus, I imagine, comes along with his anchor, and he's like, "Let me help," and just gives it the old anchor, so to speak.
The old thrust.
So, what's your actual move here? What do you want to thrust into?
Well, when you put it that way.
I don't know. What's around me?
Water,
Like
debris floating into the lift now.
And Hubert.
Hubert is around you. You have everybody here. The idea is that you can basically seal off the elevator. You can go up, you can go down, you can open up the elevator, really open the doors up. And that's kind of that. That's where you're at.
Trying to get us going up as much as possible, helping out
Yeah.
that shit as well. But
All right. So, you do. You start the lift, and it's very gradual. And there are people who've seen the lift, and they have actually started to leave their buildings on whatever debris that they can, trying to make their way toward you in various states of panic, because the doors are
Can we
kind
help
of open.
them?
Well,
Hap,
you'll
hap,
have
hap.
to find out later, because that's where we're going to leave today.
Target practice.
Effie, no.
Effie, yes.
Effie, yes.
All right, so that's where we're going to leave today. We're gonna put a little bit of a bookmark in that. And, well, thank you very much, Caldwell. Yes, that's where we're going to leave that one today. And, yeah, we're going to head back to the studio for saying farewell there. Okay. Yeah, I'll see anybody who's going to join me there. You know.
So question.
Yeah, go on.
The last time we played these characters, I took damage. How does that get healed?
Over time. And for you, because it was right away, you still have the damage, but it's nothing that you need to be too terribly concerned about. It's something that there are opportunities that we again avoided for damage, and again avoided combat. I'm actually impressed. I'm impressed that you guys are just able to keep going.
Well, I was that close to running over those news reporters.
Ran over someone.
There was the sergeant who's dead, and then there was an incredible roll that just kind of made it happen. I mean, you basically talked your way out of that. That was amazing. I'm impressed by that.
Also, if you're injured, I have Medicaid now.
Huh?
You should have just said something.
It's the bottle that got ricocheted off of Dua's,
it was
large head.
The flung in the because they're setting up basically for a small scale civil war down on floor 3, or I guess to you up on floor 3. Well, that's where we're gonna end the stream. So I'm saying adieu to everybody there, and if anybody wants to hang out in Discord, I could do some more chatting about the actual session. So bye everybody who's watching the stream.
Bye.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and all that stuff. And punch the notification bell.
Absolutely commit exterminatus on that sub button. Fuck! I can't stand that. All right.